Michael Jackson, Mariah Carey, and Stevie Wonder. What's the common denominator of all three musicians? All of them are African American descent and minorities whose arts got recognized by the Grammy Academy around 1980s to 1990s. This illustration perfectly reflects on a major strategic flaw that the PM took in this round. PM bases his case on two feeble assumptions. Firstly, all award shows are racist and unfair towards minority artists. Secondly, award shows act as a competition that pit one artist to another, which dilutes the meaning of art. Without explaining anything specific about these award shows that hurt arts and artists, look at PM's and exclusive language. People will not see the value of arts, or it's not going to be materialistic competition. Arts are subjective. Panels, none of the explanations you get from the PM actually solves any of the problems that he poses. This sounds like a general case against the existence of arts institutions like Juilliard or Parsons, or even the commercialization of arts in and of itself. His case doesn't prove why abolishing arts awards will solve any of these issues in his 8-minute speech. Two quick clarifications on opposition's counterfactual to make this a clean debate, right? Firstly, on the context of this debate that the PM failed to give. Firstly, let's point out how PM's speech sounds like a vain laundry list of problems about the award shows without contextualizing anything about the Academy at Oscars or the Grammys. The PM straight up called out these institutions and executives as racist bigots who are not objective and always work against minorities. Let me give you a 101 context of these award shows. The only thing that they told you was how bad executives were, and which is really incredibly on the worst case scenario, we reject this notion. How does the voting process work then? And who are the members of the Academy? Three things under this. Firstly, from each brand that is represented in these art recognitions, there's several members elected who have significant experience in that field. They're not just random people who don't have the right knowledge, right? These people will then decide who gets to be eligible for the nominations under that category. For example, actors nominated actors, directors nominate directors, etc. This shows that the members of the Academy actually have credibility. But then secondly, it's not just a popularity contest that decides winners based on how much supporters that they have. Once the nominations would be announced, all of the voting members of the Academy would be able to win in most of the categories on who deserves to win, right? But then thirdly, there's always going to be ways in which the voting process will be ensured to be within the integrity measures. This is exactly like how the Oscars employs an independent accounting firm to oversee the voting tabulation and keep the results confidential until they're actually announced. So what does it look like under our side? We're going to uphold the significance of these awards and recognitions because we said that if you don't have all of these, there isn't going to be any sort of appreciation except monetary appreciation, right? That will result in a world where you would have to pay to make a movie or a song. You would have to subscribe to platforms like Apple TV, Netflix, etc. What we're doing under our side is creating appreciation that is non-materialistic. Moving on to my direct responses towards prompt then. Let's engage on their claim that like competition is bad and the system is flawed, which consists of biased and snobby executives, which results in like unfair winners. Two responses to this. Firstly, we understand that the whole system in and of itself is not always perfect, and there's instances where racism and biases happen, but there's progress. There are still cases where minorities are the ones receiving these awards, right? This is exactly why Whitney Houston still won a Grammy in 1994 and John Batiste won a Grammy last year, or how Will Smith won an Oscar last year. It's incredibly unfair for them to characterize that these executives and committees members always have bad intentions because of two things. Firstly, these are people who have experience in arts, but secondly, they are art critics who have background in terms of education in these fields, right? This means that they have an interest to actually ensure that the advancement of these arts is sustained because it is their area of expertise, and it wouldn't be likely that they'll just choose those who think they are good. For example, if they're part of the Oscars community, they would want someone to be relevant of those awards to show who have significance and represent the category. But then secondly, note that when you're abolishing something, it should fit two criteria: that their existence is really insignificant and that they only bring extreme harm to the point where they aren't needed at all, right? This means that they characterize the awards and recognitions as something that doesn't have a direct benefit at all under their side. We're going to tell you why this is going to be more beneficial for artists and minorities under our sides. Two things under this. Firstly, this is more in line with the development of art. Secondly, creates better discourse about arts. But second, rebuttal on how people will devalue the real intentions behind the artist's works. This claim is highly inexclusive because artists are earning money for their artistic endeavors in order to be known, which is just fine because it is their end product and means of expression. And along the way, you generally have like people give people some services and when you perform or sing, right? People still understand that art is still subjective. So Harry Styles winning a Grammy or 1989 winning a Grammy doesn't mean that we are saying that other albums in that category are bad and don't deserve it. It fits more to the context at that time. Moving on to my argument then. Why is it actually a necessity for this appreciation to happen? Let's characterize the purpose of arts awards and recognitions, right? Three things. Firstly, the purpose of art awards is actually to recognize and celebrate excellence in various artistic and creative endeavors. This means that their existence actually acknowledge outstanding achievements, different talents, and contributions to the arts and culture. It's not just a contest or a regular competition that you can just win, right? It's exclusive within the entertainment industry. But then secondly, they actually serve as a source of motivation and encouragement for artists and creatives. This means that exactly because the idea of winning an award has more of an ability to inspire individuals and groups to push their creative boundaries and strive for artistic greatness. This means that it's going to be more likely for more innovation and experimentation to happen in artist careers. But then thirdly, this means that winning or even being nominated for an award can actually significantly improve an artist's career because this can lead to increased visibility, new opportunities, etc. Right? So why is this so important? We said at the moment you're constantly upholding the significance of these awards and recognitions, it automatically means you give more inspiration and motivation for artists and creatives. This is because of two things. Firstly, they feel more acknowledged and more important in the industry when they will be constantly recognized and celebrated, because this means that their talent and contributions to the arts and culture are being known and appreciated. But secondly, they receive validation on their talent and hard work. Because even if they do not win these awards, the fact that they still got nominated for a prestigious award in the industry is going to improve their name, right? Second argument then, how does this actually beneficial towards artists from different backgrounds? I think there are several structural reasonings under this. Firstly, winning these awards automatically means more recognition and respect. So they have the ability to enhance an artist's standing among their peers and in their respective fields. This is in a sense where artists who have won these awards are more likely to be considered for collaboration or investment by industry professionals. Why is this so, right? This is exactly because they gain international recognition. For example, if they win in the Oscars or Grammys or the BRIT Awards, you automatically provide artists with global exposure. The reason why they have such a big impact is because the name of these awards actually have a large platform in society that appeals to the people, right? They showcase these artists' achievements to a wider range and diverse audience, which actually helps bridge the cultural divides within the community in the first place. But then secondly, also note that this opens up more doors to people from different backgrounds, which gives them a significant amount of representation within the industry. You open up doors for those who have the desire to strive in the industry. Because when minority artists are recognized, there's more industry-wide conversations about diversity and the importance of creating opportunities for all. So the moment these types of individuals from diverse racial, ethnic, gender, or cultural backgrounds will be winning to receive recognition, this means that they stand for empowerment towards their underrepresented groups to pursue careers in their arts. And for all of those reasons, we're so proud to propose.